Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Two of Pentacles, change, harmonious change. You're taking positive actions to improve your life. You're somebody who is practical, right? You're pragmatic. You're thinking, if I don't like it, I need to do something about it. You're realizing that you have the power on the material plane to do something differently, to change your behavior, to change your mind, change your attitude, change your heart. Well, not to change your heart, but to do something in terms of your behavior, actions, right? Steps that you can take that will then be confirmed by your heart, right? So I feel like we don't change our feelings. Our feelings are a message. Our feelings tell us what we need to do in the world, you know? And then we do it and we sort of check in, like, did that help? It did. Okay, I'm going to keep doing more of that. Not from an ego perspective, right? But from a deeper level, a soul level, right? So let's see what changes you're making in life, and let's see what the results of those are and what the motivations are for these changes. Eight of Pentacles, growth, patience, prudence, good routines, good habits. I think we're branching out into different areas. We're feeling a little bit more diversified in our interests, okay? I think that the Two of Pentacles could be talking about a very kind of win-win partnership here of some kind. And we have a Princess of Swords. We have a Six of Swords. We have a Six of Pentacles, yes. And an Ace of Pentacles, yes, okay. I wonder if this, it feels like this might be a business deal of some kind, or it's something that seems like it's got a plan behind it, right? That Six of Swords. It's something that isn't just, it doesn't feel like it's necessarily emotion-based, but let's check the path of the serpent. I know the emotions are going to be in here somewhere. We have a Knight of Pentacles, we have a Knight of Wands, we have a Queen of Pentacles, which, by the way, is your superpower card. That is your understanding of your path. Okay, this is the card that represents the Virgo energy in action, right? It's a mutable earth energy, and, well, we've got a Five of Swords. We don't have any water here at all. Interesting. Very interesting. Maybe the water energy has already happened, and now we're thinking, okay, I've listened to my emotions. Now it's time for me to formulate a plan and do the plan. Right? And then we kind of do this, and then we're going to check back in. Because, see, at the end here, the final outcome here is a Five of Swords. We're asking the question. We're saying, did it work? Let me try something, and let me reflect upon it to see if it worked the intended way. So I bet we're going to get some water maybe in the mystery card. Let's select the mystery card. Bonus card, confirmation card. This is the random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it right here with Bubo, our mechanical owl, right there on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this program you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction down in the comments, okay? Let's look around the room. Another interesting thing we see, or don't see, right? No major arcana energy. There are no major cards, okay? No major card. I feel like right now Spirit is the table, right? Just because we don't have a major arcana energy prominent doesn't mean Spirit's out of the building. It means Spirit is here. Spirit is the table. Spirit is supporting what you're doing. I feel like everything that's happening right now has the support of Spirit. It's all happening for you. And Spirit, to me, it feels like Spirit is sanctioning what you're doing and saying, okay, you have a plan, do it and see. And then at the end, kind of check in and ask, how did it work? You know, this is a very experimental kind of thing here. And I think that you have the support of your soul, your spirit, because I think that's what started the thing, right? When we talk about the emotion, there's no water energy, right? I don't mean that like your ego is saying, I don't like it here, I'm bored, I want some ice cream. And then we say, okay, I have a plan to get some ice cream, you know? And then at the end we check in with the ego, hey, how was that ice cream, right? I feel like this is something deeper. I feel like there was a discomfort in your soul. The deeper emotions, right, are going to tell us, they're trying to send us a message. I think that you've heard the message and you say, okay, here's my plan about what to do about that. And I'm going to do it. And then at the end, I'm going to sort of check in with soul, with spirit, and say, how'd that work? Kind of ask the question, like look inside and direct our mind inwardly and say, okay, how did that work out? You know? So I feel like right now the table is the spiritual energy for you. There are no prominent major cards because there's really nothing that Spirit is kind of saying, oh, you better work on that. You better remember that. There's no karma really for you to work out right now. There's no spiritual work to do. Everything is spiritual work, but I think right now it is a matter of having the plan, executing the plan, right? And doing the work and seeing what comes out the other side, and then checking in with self, with spirit, with soul, guardian angel, God, goddess, deity, asking the question, how did it work out? Was this the thing that led toward more growth? I think we're trying to make decisions and make choices. We're trying to take steps that are going to lead to more growth, more diversification, right? So we've got fire. We don't have any water. We got a couple of air cards, right? 1, 2, 3 air cards. And then we've got earth and earth and earth and earth and earth and earth. So it really is basically all earth cards, right? I think that this is a path toward abundance. I think it's a path toward maybe financial abundance. Maybe you have physical health, fitness goals, right? Maybe financial goals, work stuff, creative stuff, maybe domestic stuff. I feel like it's things that are happening on the physical plane. Okay. And we start with our 2 of Pentacles with an 8 of Pentacles. Making choices that are going to lead to more growth, more expansion, more branching out, more diversification, more fruit. Right? We're trying to be proactive. I think you're very, like I said, practical, pragmatic. We're making the right connections. We're making the right handshake agreements with people, with things, with energies. And we're accepting things into our lives. Right? When we do a handshake, we're connecting our energy with the other person. Okay? We're connecting. We're connecting in an energetic way. That is basically saying that this is an energy I want to connect myself with. That's going to be beneficial for me, and my energy going that way is going to be beneficial for them. So it feels like a win-win. And that's to me what the 2 of Pentacles very often represents, a win-win partnership. Oh, maybe we're talking work, business, maybe it's with people. I feel like there are a lot of people in your life right now that are kind of, we're focused on relationships in that kind of a way. Not in the transactional, not necessarily in a tit for tat or like what can I get from you type of way, but we're making sure that all of our choices, all of our decisions, all of our relationships right now are helping to foster growth. We're looking for healthy relationships, basically, right? We're looking to take healthy steps forward in our life to make things better, to grow our life, not diminish ourselves, but to expand ourselves. And we know that it takes a lot of patience, prudence, caution. You're not getting involved with everything now. The earth energy, right? All these pentacles, they move very slowly. You have a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of haste, I think. You want things to hurry up. But generally, you understand that things take time to grow. Anything worthwhile on a physical plane, we have to be patient for. We have to put in the work, the repetitive refinement of something. We have to keep doing it, and it's going to continue to grow. You don't plant a seed, and then the next day you go out to the garden and you've got an apple tree. It doesn't work like that, right? It takes, I don't know how long, months, years, right, to grow an apple tree. And not that that is necessarily your timeline. Depends on what you're trying to grow, right? Some things only take a couple weeks, right? Some things take literally 10, 20, 30 years to grow. So we're putting in the right effort, knowing, being aware that it's going to take time, that things move slowly on the earth plane. Okay? Our thoughts, our energy, our fire energy moves very quickly. We have a lot of, and that's, I think, where a lot of people get into trouble, because our thoughts, our interest, our spirit is moving so fast, but the earth energy is just kind of like a slug, just slowly moving forward, and then our soul, our spirit, our fire energy, our interests, our mind, our heart get restless. Okay? But you have an ability right now to be patient and know that what you're working toward, the steps you're taking, are leading toward new growth. Okay? To me, the ace here feels like it's part of the fruit of the labor here. But sometimes the ace of pentacles is the summit of the mountain. Kind of looks like we're looking down at a plateau here. And the green around, this is just the grass in the field that are, hundreds of feet below the plateau here, the summit of this mountain. Okay. So I feel that your work is really paying off. I feel like this is going to be, there are a lot of new things that you're doing. Okay. I think this is more about starting new things, finding new connections, new relationships, new partnerships, new habits, tasks, new ventures, new endeavors, rather than eliminating old stuff or getting rid of things. I feel like we're adding on. But we know that any kind of relationship, any kind of project, any kind of work that we're doing is going to take time for it to really grow and bear fruit. Let's say you're starting a business. Well, we know that we've got to plant the seed, we got to take the steps, we got to do the right thing in the right order, and the business will grow. It's going to take time. If we cut and run after 5 minutes, we're never going to reach the satisfaction, right? And we're never going to get the abundance of that thing. Okay. Now, the Six of Swords in the background here, this tells me that you're going into this with a very solid plan, that you have this kind of organization. You're thinking, okay, if I do X, Y, Z, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3. Makes sense. It's kind of a logical, orderly, organized approach. Like, again, you're very practical. And Virgo, you're very analytic. So I think you know that, 1 plus 1 is going to equal 2. And then I take the 2 and I add the 3, I get the 5, and another 1, I get the 6, and whatever. Like, you know how to do the math, And so you have a plan here. And I think that this originated from spirit. This originated from a sense of searching, a sense of, say, discomfort. I think we realized in our gut that something wasn't fruitful, something wasn't abundant in our lives. Okay? And so we made the choice to listen to that feeling or that impulse or that spiritual energy, that light, that divine essence that entered you, that message from your soul that said, we need a plan here. We've got to figure something out. Maybe this was a period of time in the past where we didn't have much of a direction. We just kind of were rolling with life, rolling with the punches, going with the flow. Maybe we say, what, I need a little bit of a plan here. I can't just be a cork on the ocean, a feather in the wind. I need to have some direction. And so I'm gonna write it down. Maybe you've been an avid journaler for a long time. Yeah. And maybe we just said, what, I've assess the past, because we have your superpower card, the Queen of Pentacles over here. And I think that is really, that was the important but the difficult thing, is to look at our history. You're looking at the long winding road that you took to get right here, right now. You're looking at the past in order to understand the present and to kind of outline the future. Okay, and I don't think that was easy, because it could be that this Two of Pentacles, these steps that you're taking, are really are difficult to acknowledge that this is the right thing to do. Where's the water energy? Where's the joy? Right? You're not doing it for joy. You're not doing it for ego gratification. You're not doing it for pleasure or comfort or luxury. You're kind of making the cold, hard plan here. This is very stoic. I'm not being ruled by my emotions, and Spirit's saying you're doing the right thing, even though the ego might be saying, hey, where's my ice cream? Where are my cups cards? You know, where's my sweetness in this? And that's why the Queen of Pentacles is in the position of the difficult thing, because you're looking at the history of your life. You're looking at your past, the road that you've been on, and you're thinking, okay, I know what I have to do. I know where I have to go. I know it's not going to be easy. I know it's not going to be ego gratification. So you're making choices here to do the difficult thing in life, because you realize that you need more. You need different. You need something, right? So we're growing here. This is the Sun in Virgo, by the way, the Eight of Pentacles. So to me, it feels like a spiritual revelation about what you're trying to cultivate in life, who you're trying to become, and what you want your life to become. Now, we always have this white belt energy underneath, right, with the Princess of Swords. We don't always know what we're doing. And very often we have to confer with this plan and think, am I doing it right? Was this what I was supposed to do? I started to read a book about astronauts or whatever. It's Gravity. I can't remember the name of the author. I started to read it last night. And there was one line that's coming to me now. It was this line about the checklist. That the astronauts are so trained up that they know these checklists. They know the procedures, right? How to do a burn, how to do the return, anything. They know how to do it in their sleep, right? They could recite it, in their sleep. They know it by heart. But in the moment, they have to confer the checklist and go through, because when you're in that sort of heightened energy, which we see here, it's very possible that we'll forget a crucial step. So that's kind of, that explains that mystery. I always wondered. I said, these astronauts, they train for years and years and years and years. How come in every movie I see, or every book I read, or every documentary I watch, I love space and outer space and stuff. In everything, it seems like whenever there's an emergency, get the checklist. What do we do? Oh, step one, turn on the computer. Okay, step one, do that, push the button. I mean, like, why? Like they're supposed to know this stuff. It's like I could do it. Just give me the checklist. I'll read it. I could read. Because in the moment, you may think, okay, I know, we push the button, we do this, we do this, we do this, but oh, I forgot a very important step, and now we're crash and burn, right? And so that's kind of what our Princess of Swords is. We may know what we're doing, we may have confidence in what we're doing, but in the fury of the moment, we check in with the plan. I think that's, again, why we've got the Five of Swords there. Because every once in a while, we have to look back at our plan, and we have to check in and say, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? How do the numbers look? That's why you have company meetings, right? That's why we that's why we keep a journal. That's why we sometimes have to sit and do that self-assessment and have that dialogue. Okay. I like that we have a Six of Swords and a Six of Pentacles. Your goal, your hope is for the harmonious outcome in the physical realm. You want the success of this on the physical plane. We're not, like I said, we're not really concerned with how it feels right now. I think we're trying to be objective. We're trying to look and say, not how does this feel? Does this feel good? Right? Is it in the moment, like, is this feeling good? Well, it may not be. Right? From the ego point of view, when you're doing really, really hard work, the ego is going to say, I hate this. I don't like this. Right? That's how I know my daughter's ego is starting to solidify, because she says, I hate this. This is boring. Once in a while, anyway. But we're trying to be objective. We're trying to say, is this something that is harmonious? Is it resonating with my goals in life? Is this something I want to be a part of? We're looking at this. We're kind of checking in with the plan. We're saying, is this matching up? And you got a 6 and a 6. To me, this is a very perfect result of the plan. Your plan is being executed flawlessly. And it is this process that we have a plan, we take some steps, we check in, and we say, okay, it seems like everything is vibing together, right? 6 and a 6, and we keep going. And we keep going. Okay. The 6 of Pentacles might be also an indication of the group. That maybe we're trying to put together some sort of a dream team of sorts. That we're trying to put together a harmonious, maybe it's a living situation, or we're trying to organize the band, trying to organize the company we work in for, or the company that you own or that you run. It could be that you're trying to get all the pieces put together for some bigger project. I think there are other people involved. Okay, I don't think you're doing anything necessarily alone. Because, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 court cards. And the court cards as a whole represent a group of people. Okay, so I think your focus is on relationships that are going to be healthy and productive. We're choosing relationships not because, I really like the person. We're choosing relationships that say, this is a good fit. We can work well together. We can function together. I want to see some water energy to say that things are happening on that emotional level too. But I think right now, to me, it kind of has that feeling like we're going to focus first on making the connections with what's practical, what is going to work, what is going to function together. The intimacy and the friendship and the joy and the bonding and all that stuff, that can happen later, but it has to be built on something on this plane. Okay, and maybe this is a rare situation, because how often do we just choose our behaviors, right? Our projects, our plans, our people. How often do we choose things based on, I like it. I like that person, so I want to bond with that person, then only to find out that we're incompatible. So I think we're working on the compatibility first, thinking that, okay, the intimacy, the love, the friendship, the good vibes will come later. So to me, that's kind of how you would operate on a more professional or like a work level, right? Or even if we're talking about this being something in the home, family, or even friends. Well, the love's already there, but the love's not factoring into this. Yeah, I love you, but right now we're talking about practical things. We all have chores to do. We all got to clean our room and take out the dishes and do the trash and feed the cat and all that stuff. So it's kind of like the emotions here. The fluctuating emotions aren't factoring into this. What we're doing is we're looking at it and we're thinking, is it working? And if it is, if we have that 6 and 6 harmony, we say, okay, how do I keep it working? Let's keep it going. We're not trying to be overly emotional, because then our emotions may tend to override our common sense. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Your general energy is the Knight of Pentacles, looking at the future. Who do I want to be? Where do I want to be? And what do I want to be doing down the road? Okay, I got that vision. Now I have to work my way backwards. I have to reverse engineer it. And that gives me the plan, right? Because right here, this is somebody that's looking at the future and thinking, I know what I want my future on the physical plane. I know who I am, where I am, and what I want to be doing. But gosh, how do I get there? Well, we extrapolate. We work our way backwards. We reverse engineer it. We get the plan. Okay. And this, again, is very earthy energy. It's in a practical, this is how I want my health and well-being. This is how I want my finances. This is what I want my house to look like. This is what I want my life to look like. These are the kinds of things that I want around me. Like in a very human, practical, pragmatic, physical, material world sense. That's the life you want. Maybe that's going to be the 10 of Pentacles, right? And so we have that vision of our human future, and we think that's what I want, that's who I want to be, etc. And that allows us to have this, right? This is basically, this is the essence of the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles moving forward now is based on this. Okay. So we have to have this. We have to have this vision. We have to know what we ultimately want so that we can start taking those steps and being patient and keep taking steps, keep checking in to see how we're doing, how we're making progress, what do the numbers look like, how are we doing this week or this month or whatever. We have to have some sort of objective standard or metric, right, that we can check in with to say, how is this working? And of course, we've got our Knight of Pentacles, or Knight of Wands, in the position of the environment, in the position of the relationships. Now, this is really the only fire energy. And I think we need that fire, we need that will, we need that rocket booster of enthusiasm. See, the Knight of Pentacles is just kind of like, well, there's my goal up here up the mountain somewhere, and now I finally got I think I know the route, you know, and this now is saying, fire up the engines, let's go. We have to be careful with this energy because it's enthusiasm. And enthusiasm is a cascade, it's a diminishing, it's like a ball that you toss that bounces really big and then lower, 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 lower. So as the days go by, we may see that our enthusiasm is waning. This is a big burst of effort, enthusiasm, and motivation. But it's like a ball that bounces, and the energy diminishes every time. There's some mathematical formula for that. I don't know what it is. What we need is a sustained effort that keeps us jumping. It's not one big jump and then a bunch of just like fizzling out jumps. It's just reasonable jumps every time. And each one of those jumps seems to me like it's this entire process. And then at the end, kind of coming in here and saying, at the end with the Five of Swords, saying, how did that go? Are we ready to jump again? Okay, let's jump again. Not a huge jump that's going to take all my energy, but a reasonable jump that then I can say, okay, I've still got more, I've still got more fuel. Check in with things. I jump again. I jump again. I jump again. But we have to, I think, we have to get started. And I think this is why we need that Eight of Pentacles. We need the prudence, the patience, the caution. Otherwise, we're going to run out of gas very, very quickly. And we realize that this is a marathon, not a sprint. We're playing a long game here. It's not just, it's going to be a couple days and I can just go pedal to the metal. Okay, so this might be what we're dealing with. Yeah. And maybe we're dealing with this in other people. That's why this card's here. Maybe we're trying to keep people sustained for the long term. Let's not waste all our energy on the first day. This is going to take a few days, And so it might be that you're trying to keep people organized and kind of trying to keep people together in that way. Yeah. Now, of course, the next card is our power card, our Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles, like I said, is looking at the past. The Queen of Pentacles kind of represents that future self. In a way, the Knight of Pentacles is looking at the Queen of Pentacles and thinking, this is who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing in the future. All right? And then, of course, the Queen is looking at the past and thinking, this is where I started from, and this was the long, winding road I took to get here. So this is your present self and your future self. Right? And I love when we get these two cards together, because when they get together, we see a lot more pentacles. They multiply the pentacles, right? And maybe this is going to be the Empress life over here. That'd be extraordinary. So we have to. The difficulty, I think, is partly to kind of marry our past self and our future self together and realize that we have the same goals. We may not have always made the best choices, but we had the moment of realization that we need to take conscious control over our kind of human practical life. And we're doing everything that we can, everything in our power, to build that life in the way that because we want to branch out, we want to have the fruit of our labor, right? We want to have a really healthy garden in our lives, yeah. I think that this card is also about you understanding the nature of your path. It's not always easy for you to trust your instinct or your intuition or your gut feeling, right? It's not always easy, especially when down there we've got the Princess of Swords. That's kind of the student, the white belt, thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to learn more. I'm not qualified to do any of this, you know. So the Queen then is the understanding, and we need to trust. We need to believe in our own wisdom. We need to believe in the depth of who we are, and kind of. You need to understand what your soul is telling you. We need to trust in that feeling that your spirit, your gut, your soul will tell you if you're doing the right thing or not. You know, and so in a way we don't need outside validation. We don't need anybody to tell us what to do or to approve of our path. We have to learn to feel it inside, and maybe that's the water energy too. Learning to trust that intuition that says, this, I'm doing the right thing. And that's why, again, spirit is the table. Not there aren't any explicit images of that spiritual energy right now. There's no major cards. Spirit wants you to trust yourself that your soul will tell you if you're doing the right work or not, if you're headed in the right direction or not, if you have the support of spirit, if you have the support of your own soul or not. And I think the Five of Swords here, the final outcome is that we're sort of checking in. We're asking our soul, do I have your support? Or have you withdrawn support? Because right now I think we aren't really sure. Let's look at the mystery card. Maybe the mystery card will confirm or deny whether you have spirit support or the support of your own soul. Because I feel like we're ending the first part of the reading here with this Five of Swords, asking the question. Asking the question, is this resonating with me? Is this the plan? Is this plan the right plan? You know, and I think at any moment we can stop and ask ourselves that question. Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing in life? Like, let me check in with my deeper emotions, not my surface level, you know, or shallow end ego gratification. The mystery card is either going to be the Queen of Cups, the Empress, the Nine, or the Ten of Cups. If you have a guess or a prediction, put it in the comments. Oh yeah, Nine of Cups. Yeah, look at that. The Nine of Cups is the card of super abundance, right? So I think that this is a resounding yes. You are on the right path. This is something that is resonating with your soul. You have the support of spirit. You have the support of your own energy, your own divine energy here. Your own conscience, your own deeper soul desires, your God, goddess, deity, your true self, higher self, guardian angel, spirit guides, ancestors. I think this is a big yes. This is abundance on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and the spiritual creative planes, right? It's abundance kind of exponentially multiplied, right? It's super abundance. And I think that this is the way things are supposed to happen for you. The things that you're doing right now are exactly what you're supposed to be doing. I think you're headed in the right direction. This is a card of happiness. This is the card of kind of living the happy life. Okay? And so for this to be the only water energy we have is really extraordinary. Major confirmation here. Okay? And it's a foundational card. 9 is a foundational number. Right? So to me, it represents like the idea that what you're doing now is fundamentally good for your life in all dimensions of your life. This is good for your soul, it's good for your body, it's good for your heart, good for your head. It's good for other people. Like, this is a very positive plan that you are executing in your life right now. Okay? Big time confirmation. Let's do an extended reading. We'll do some Jing readings. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link up top and there's a link down below. New readings for Virgo Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.